What does it mean to say, I am? Is consciousness an accident of biology? Or is it the fabric of the universe? On Spinning the Light, we bridge the gap between ancient wisdom and modern inquiry. We're stripping away the illusions of the ego to find the radiant core of human existence. Join us, your hosts, Christy and Sharon, as we unravel the mysteries of the mind and illuminate the true nature of being. This is Spinning the Light.
Hello.
Hello. Welcome back once again.
Oh, here we are.
And here we are continuing. We have been talking about being collapse aware, just all the changes that are going on in society, and people are feeling it. A little bit of angst and not really knowing, I think, where they should place their energy and attention, because we feel like we're all kind of caught up in some chaos.
Well, and I think it's even more than that. I think that with people, it's knowing, what do I attend to? What really is relevant to me? Because it's almost like everything becomes relevant.
Yeah. And I mean,
Overwhelming.
it can be completely overwhelming. So we've been going through a list put out from Collective Evolution. It was written by Gabrielle Feather. And it's 100 things that you can do now that you are collapse aware. I think to bring more peace into your life, shifting your focus to some of these things. And it's been, I think, really good so far.
You know, I've really enjoyed this series because I think what it has really done, it's really helped me too, to pay more attention, to put more time into those things that are really resonating with me.
Well, and really helping me to put some space and just to have a calmer mind in general.
Yeah.
So the next section that we're covering is home and hearth. Many of us are already bracing for reduced resources and disrupted supply chains, yet few are either emotionally or financially prepared to embrace full-scale prepping. Small steps, however, can transform a home into a place of sovereignty, resilience, and beauty.
I like that.
Yeah, so cook a meal entirely from scratch and savor the time and care it takes.
Ooh, I like this and the reason why is because for me, cooking is a very peaceful, very mindful event. And when you do it, and it's like you start with those raw vegetables, say, and as you're cutting them, and they smell of earth, but each one has its own, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And the vibrancy, the colors, and when you put them all together, and I'm always telling you, come look at how this colors look.
Look at all the beautiful colors together. And it's really cool. It's almost like art because the way everything goes together and how beautiful it looks.
And then as you're cooking it, I'll tell her, oh my God, you can smell the onions. And now here comes the garlic. Or if you're using spinach or whatever, tomato, you'll feel its layers.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, I love it.
Now, there's many out there that don't love cooking and are not going to probably see it in the same light. But I am telling you right now, it helps you to appreciate it more when you have somebody in your house that does like to do that kind of thing, and you do start to pay attention to it.
If you don't like to cook, guess what? Maybe a lot of people like smoothies.
Mm.
Do it with something even like that with your fruit as you're cutting it up. Really look at it and then put them together. Look at those colors. And then it's not even just in that process of it. It's when you're eating them. Truly pay attention. Taste the flavors. And I love that when we went to Paris and we did the walking food tour.
Mm-hmm.
And they want you to talk about the food. They want you to share that experience. How was that food for you? They want you to have these conversations. And I love that about it too. But not only just that, they talk to you about how the food, where it comes from, how it breaks down, what you should be tasting. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. How the creation of the dish came about, all of those kind of things. And it's interesting when you slow down and you mindfully prepare these meals or even eat these meals. There's so much research that's gone into mindful eating and how it helps you to from digestion to all kinds of things. There are physical things that are beneficial in mindful eating.
Well, it's so interesting because when you're eating, certain flavors you only taste on certain parts of your tongue
Mm-hmm.
and as it breaks down. But it's kind of cool when you pay attention to that. It's kind of like a whole new experience.
It definitely is a whole new experience. One of the things I'll tell you is like when we get, because I love zucchini, sometimes when we make that, it's like I tell you, it's almost like I can taste the rain that went into growing this vegetable. I don't know how to explain that, but there's like this sweetness, this.
Because I do them into calabacitas. And so there's this earthy, and you're right, fresh rain taste to them. And that sweetness at the back is just amazing to me.
Yeah. And part of that is, I think, the love that you put into because you are so mindful in the cooking part of it.
This is interesting because we don't even understand that sometimes if I'm angry and I'm cooking, that energy is present.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, that is present. And I really do feel like you will taste it in the food. I do food, she does coffee.
Mm-hmm.
And she always, what do you always say?
I always put an extra pinch just for love. And I think it comes out great.
Yes. So little things, being mindful of just little things when there's all this stuff going on externally that we have no control over.
Mm-hmm.
Pick those moments.
Yes. So another thing you can do, learn to repair something that breaks, no matter how simple. Sometimes that's can be a challenge. But sometimes it's worth just giving it a shot. And there's a lot of things you can look up online to learn how to fix something.
Well, and I think the thing is it teaches us not to be wasteful.
Yeah.
It teaches us the value of something. Just because something's broken doesn't mean it's not useful.
Yeah.
And, when we are able to take those things and maybe it won't look as good, but if the cup still holds, the cup still holds.
Yeah.
I've
got a little handheld radio that was my grandma's and I've had it forever. It's lasted through I don't know how many moves. And that thing still works and it don't have a cover for the battery on the back even, but that thing works. I take it, I keep it,
But I think that's what it is. And then when I'm fixing it, I become that energy of me fixing it it makes it better. It's not somebody else's creation. It might be somebody else's creation, but I'm the one nurturing it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the one taking care of it. One of our steps messed up one day. And I was like, oh my goodness, I don't know the first thing about fixing a step. And I thought, oh, I think that's where they make wood glue. So I went and I fixed the step.
Yeah. Sometimes it's a simple enough repair.
Yeah.
Dry your clothes in the sun and the wind. I'm grateful we have a dryer, but I do remember growing up and my mom hanging clothes out on a clothesline and just the memory of that. And yeah, the freshness and that. I think it would be a little bit harder here because we have, especially this time of the year with all the fires we have and everything would come back smelling like smoke.
This is true. But I grew up the same way. So we didn't have a dryer. We had a washer. So Mom would wash the clothes and then she would hang it. I guess I'm learning more and more, you kind of piece things together. But I remember as a kid, I thought I can hardly wait till I get old enough to do laundry because my mom always hummed. She always was present with her laundry. I didn't realize that's what it was.
Yeah.
And she always hung it a certain way. And she taught us that. And then I realized as I got older, laundry didn't feel the same way. She was doing it. But I realized it was that. But then if I think back on it, I remember going and taking the clothes off the line and looking at the sky while I'm doing it. There was sunlight. There was all of these things. We don't have the appreciation we should, I guess, growing up sometimes to that degree. But now they're like, oh my goodness, I get it now.
Yeah. And there's something about drying in the sunlight, I guess, because even like, I always tell you, like, if I have to clean a pair of shoes, sit them out in the sunlight, that does something. Seems like it brightens, or I don't know.
Well, I think we all need to sit out in the sunlight.
I think so too. There are a lot of people these days that are low in vitamin D. Grow herbs within reach of your kitchen.
That's something I've never done.
No, but I've seen others do it, and it seems like,
Oh, I've had friends do it, and that I don't know why. That's not been one of my things.
Yeah. But I think for, people that really do enjoy it and maybe don't have the space elsewhere or whatever, they can focus in on that, and that will definitely slow you down.
I don't grow herbs, but I do have a few plants in my home.
It's kind of interesting learning about the different herbs and spices that you can use to flavor food and that. I mean, I'm by no means a cook, but I think that it's really cool because we tend to use different spices and things like that. It's not just all salt and pepper.
Well, and I think because it just shows you how you can bring something together that you never thought and what it can create.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to experiment with some of those things. And like I said, I don't grow herbs, but I do have plants in my home. And even every morning I get up, I open the curtains and I tell my plants good morning and how beautiful they are. And then what is your job when you do it?
I still have to tell them good morning and how beautiful they are.
And my sister visits. I said, did you talk to the plants? And the reason why is because to me, they're cleaning up our air. We're having a relationship with them.
Yeah, there's an exchange.
And you can tell because they will grow very good for you if you do that.
Yes, Miss Green Thumb.
She told me I couldn't keep changing the pot for my plant because we don't have enough space for that big tropical thing.
To be as big as the house.
I love it.
Turn scraps into stock and reduce what you discard. I think if you can do that, that's really...
How many of you guys reuse? How many of you, I think that's a really important thing. It is recycle, but it's like, how many times do you use a carton?
I was kind of happy when they actually went to reusable bags at the store. I mean, here, I know they don't do that everywhere, but I think it was a good thing. I know that it's an inconvenience to a lot of people, but I'm happy that we can use something that we can reuse.
I don't know about y'all, but how many of you did your old butter container become the
Tupperware?
Tupperware. And that lasted forever.
Yeah.
You just didn't go throw everything out. It was like, oh, look, yeah, I can put something in there. Isn't it true?
It is true. Very true.
I don't know if people do that anymore.
I don't know if they do either. And not all butter dishes are made the same either. Some of those lids come off easy.
This is true.
Assemble a small emergency kit, water, torches, matches, first aid, as a small act of self-responsibility. And I don't think that's a bad idea. I mean, sort of like carrying the little emergency pack in your car or something like that. And you never know.
Yeah, we have that.
No, I don't think that's a matter of panic mode. I think it's just, thinking ahead. And
it's horrible, the amount of people who've lost their homes in these fires. And a lot of them, maybe they did have those kits together, so it was easy for them to, when they had the evacuation order and everything. So, I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to have them so you just know, it's available to you.
There's peace of mind in the preparedness.
Absolutely.
Something like that. Clear clutter and air out your house regularly to remove stagnant energy. I think that is something that we've been doing slowly, just trying to clear out space.
We had a storage unit we were paying on. Okay, that's how crazy it can be. We had a storage unit we were paying on, and we had a garage. Finally, one day we said, we have room in the garage. So we moved everything from the storage unit to the garage. Now we just have all this stuff in our garage. And one day they're like, I don't know, we had a burst of energy or something. And we said, why are we keeping this? Why don't we donate it? And so that's what we did. We had like 23 bins we donated, and I don't know how many bags we donated. And it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good because once you walked out and you walked in and you saw more of that space, you realize it clears up something in here.
Yeah. Decluttering has a huge ability to help you feel just more organized. You feel like you're not in such a mess, and your head, you just can think better. I feel like it's just, it clears your mind in some way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I think also what it does is it puts in perspective that what is it about collecting things?
We have,
You know,
it seems like we're always trying to hang on to stuff, and we have such attachment to some things, and some things it makes sense, but I think
I'm
there's
not
a lot
even,
of things
yeah,
that
I'm not even talking about the things that we have attachment to. I'm talking about the fact that we did 10 moves and we carried stuff that we had never even opened out of a box, or we didn't have any attachment to it other than the attachment of moving it. Why? Because it was art? I don't know. It was just weird.
exactly. Well, there's a lot of things that, and a lot of people have a rule: if I haven't used it in a year, why am I keeping it? And we started looking at things kind of like that. It's, why?
Well, and I think, when we moved your mom,
My mom had 3 storage units.
can't even tell you how many toothbrushes she had. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But what we found was even in that, and even when we were doing, I always felt like claustrophobic. I felt like I didn't have space.
Mm-hmm.
And when we went, and even with her decluttering, and it was hard for her because it's like you're trying to get rid of.
She got really upset, and she was like, "You're making me give away my whole life."
Where they're like, your whole life isn't in these. I said, I'm thinking, how can your whole life be in 35 toothbrushes?
But that's what I
You
mean.
know?
Like, a lot of times it's attachment to things. And I think, and I understand too, I mean, there's a lot of memories packed away in those things. It's 30 some years with her and my dad, and I get it. There's a lot of memories attached to that.
And I think what we do is we mix up those things that really are valuable to us, and we put that value on everything, even if it doesn't really hold that same value.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where that clutter comes in. We lump it all together. And when we do that, that's why we have to declutter in order to know, oh my God, I'm keeping this because this was important.
Sometimes I think that we're hanging on to these things, and it really is just contributing to our feeling of being stuck.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I think so anyway.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Light candles after sunset and slow the pace of your home. I think a practice like this can really go a long way in helping you to de-stress.
It's interesting as you read that. I was thinking, we used to light candles. I just want you to know we have about 50 candles throughout our house, and not one is ever, we don't light that one.
Well, it's interesting. Well, yeah, I think it's because the scent of candle that we like is usually like a fall kind of candle, so we tend to burn them more in the fall than we do in
Well, I guess
any
there's
other
some
time.
truth to that. But, I think maybe we'll start that practice
Yeah.
and see what it does. But I think that there is a thing of not only us unwinding, but our space unwinding.
Yeah.
We create chaos in our homes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes when we slow it all down, you feel the difference. If we pay attention, and I think that's the biggest thing, is it's that paying attention and being present and really truly identifying those things that bring me peace.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I can identify and I can do it, and it doesn't hurt. If I do this and it doesn't work, nothing, I've not lost anything.
No.
You know
And,
what I mean?
not worrying about, maybe your practice is to sage your home, do those kinds of things. Sometimes you feel like, whether that be the airing out or whatever you want to call it, and some people may look at you weird for saging your home or doing that, but sometimes those are the things that help you to clear that energy in that space.
And you'll see a lot of people will open their windows,
Yeah.
and they really do, because they're allowing the fresh air in, and that right now we're so windy, you just get a whole lot of dust. Get a whole lot of dust in there and smoke. And sometimes, you can't tell, but sometimes when the wind shifts, the smoke can get in there too. So, but well, on those clear days, we have in the past just opened the windows and just let the air in.
Yeah.
Feel the Christmas of it sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But it's even like in the morning when you get up, and sometimes, I get up and water in the morning, and to feel the Christmas of that air,
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's a brand new day.
Yeah, there's a freshness in it.
There's a happy in it almost. It's like a renewed energy.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I like it. I feel it.
Share tools and appliances with neighbors instead of purchasing duplicates. If you have that kind of relationship with your neighbor, I think that's awesome. And I'm really grateful we've had that kind of relationship with our neighbors.
We had to fix our garage door, so we had to add the thing at the bottom, and didn't have what I needed. So went over next door and was so grateful that our neighbor came over and he helped us do that and shared his tools. And I grew up doing that. Dad and Mom always shared.
Yeah.
If it was food, if it was equipment, it didn't matter. Sometimes if it was clothes, you gave clothes to people and stuff like that. And I'm grateful that I grew up having that practice and sharing with the neighbor. I don't have a problem with that at all.
That is a piece of that community that we always talk about. And I remember sharing with our neighbor in Del Norte.
Oh my goodness. So June, love her. She's like our sister. She really is. We call her sister. But it was really interesting because we were all having hard times at the same time. We were unemployed. Her job didn't pay her a whole lot. She's raising 2 kids. Well, her dad worked for a farmer, and he went and got some
Carrots and
just vegetables.
Yeah, just different veggies.
And cabbage and that. And neighbor calls us over. We'll go over. And she just splits everything down the middle.
Yeah.
But we would do the same thing if we had stuff. We'll say, come on over for breakfast. We have breakfast. But that bonding has kept us connected. Even these years that we don't live by her, we still call her neighbor, even though she really is like family to us. We shared in the hard times together, and we shared in the good times together. So when you have that ability to share with your neighbor and do those kind of things, there is something very rewarding, and that connectedness feels so amazing.
We built a long-lasting relationship there, and I'm so grateful for it.
Oh, every day. Love it.
Build a seasonal altar or nature table as a small shifting tribute to the living world's cycles.
Ooh.
I really like the idea of that one. And when I think of that the most is like harvest time, just even the decorations around that. When you think of like the cornucopia and that kind of thing, I think that's kind of a neat idea.
Well, and I think it is. And, I'm going to go back to flowers but I love that there are flowers for each season.
Yeah.
When you can do fresh flowers, or you can do not fake flowers. I don't know, maybe they have a real word for it.
Silk flowers, probably.
There you go. Okay, yeah. There you go. You see how many times I use those, huh? But no, you can. You could go and put out flowers for every season, because there are plants that you can do that.
Yeah.
Poinsettia's not I don't know what it is. I grow poinsettias well. They get big. So they're not but there's a poinsettia.
Yeah. Isn't there like a Christmas cactus or something too?
Yeah.
Those are pretty.
You can do any of these things. If you don't have the green thumb, then do the silk flowers.
My mom did.
She asked me, how do you like my flowers? They're plastic. Get them outside.
Yeah.
So I would go plant her real flowers.
But she was like, I don't have to water them or anything, and they just look pretty all the time.
She lived in Alabama. You didn't have to water anyway. Right. So they're like, you don't have to water, you just plant them. They pretty much grow.
But Mom would have said she was the first one to say she didn't have a green thumb. So,
I tried.
Yeah.
But yeah, so there are all these things that we can do. And I think it is nice when we celebrate the seasons.
Yeah.
We talk about the winter solstice and the spring solstice.
Mm-hmm.
Those are times of rebirth and all of those things. And that's what I love about our seasons.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten away from. I don't think we do it. We don't get excited about. I don't know.
Well, our attention is everywhere else. And so that's what it becomes, is just slowing down and taking notice of those things.
I get excited about things like that, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
I love the changing of the seasons. I love what each one represents. And when we look at them, it's like a guide to us.
Mm-hmm.
Spring is our time to grow, to think of new ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It's our starting off point,
Yeah.
As individuals, growth, internal growth. And then we go into summer, and that's when we harvest that growth. That's when we really say, oh my God, this has worked for me,
Mm-hmm.
this change. And then we go into fall. And sometimes fall is when we shed away those old ideas or those things that aren't working for us.
Right.
And then we get to winter, and then that's our time to rest, restore, hibernate, come and think of these new ideas and things. Nature shows us. Nature is on display for us.
Yeah. Just slow down and pay attention. I know that the other day were scrolling and saw a post of somebody playing an instrument it was a hippo,
Yes.
and how the hippo reacted to that and came over to the edge and was just watching him.
If you haven't seen this clip, it's so cool. So he's playing guitar.
Yeah.
And he's just playing the guitar. And pretty soon the hippo comes and stops and keeps playing. And it comes a little further until he plays. He just continues playing until the hippo's head is right beneath him. And the hippo's just looking up at him. And then you can just see the hippo, his body relax. And they created a relationship, a connection, the connection through music.
Yeah.
How amazing is that? I thought that was awesome to be able to see that. That's what I do love about technology is you get to see and witness these things that you otherwise couldn't. But it's about relationships. It's about these connections that people are making to animals, to the earth, to each other.
Yeah.
To space, whatever it is.
Exactly. When we are paying attention, the experiences that we can have in those slow down moments, even like that, it makes me wonder even how other animals would react if, somebody sat down and played them a song like that.
I know. And they've done it we know the power of words and intention. They've done it with water and ice.
Mm-hmm.
They've done it with plants.
Yeah.
And that's why it's important for me every morning to get up and remind my plants that I'm very grateful for them. Because we're in a relationship.
They provide for us as we do for them.
But if I don't view something as a relationship, it doesn't have the same value.
No.
And so that's why the relationship is so important. The communities we build, the things that we do.
Be aware. There's many things that are going unnoticed.
Oh, isn't that the truth? But we have the ability to notice other people, walk by them, say hello, those kind of things. It's simple. We don't have to make it complicated. And we all are guilty of it at times. We'll all make it more complicated than it is. And sometimes I'll tell you, wait, we're making this too hard.
Yeah. Yeah. We have a tendency to do that as people.
Sometimes we have to just remind ourselves we have to let it go.
Yeah.
Let that stuff go and say it. Let it go.
Yeah.
Go commune with nature. Go do those things that are going to help uplift us.
Build you back up.
Absolutely.
So we hope that you have heard something you liked today and hope that you will go to spinningthelightpodcast.com and follow us there, subscribe. You'll get an email whenever we post a new episode. We're on all social medias, including TikTok. Worlds of Wonder by Spinning the Light is the YouTube channel, and we share some of our travels there. Sharon has a mixology spot if y'all like that kind of thing.
Because I like to see things. I like to see colors. I like to see how you put flavors together.
Yeah.
Mixology is the same as cooking to me.
Yeah.
It's why does that blend? Why does that citrus bring this out or whatever it is? To me, mixology is cooking just with liquid. It works.
Well, let's all try being more mindful and
Yes.
discover once again the things that maybe we've forgotten.
And we asked you, if you like our podcast, which we hope you do, tell your family, tell your friends, help us to build this community.
Yeah.
You know,
Thank you all for listening.
yes, we are so grateful for you. We appreciate you. Thank you.